If you are hearing this message and wish to lose 50 pounds permanently, then write this phone number down. 352-633-0473. Dr. Juan Jordan's office in Lady Lake is offering the first 15 callers a free metabolism and body fat analysis with a comprehensive, in-depth fat-burning consultation. You have nothing to lose. Please call 352-633-0473.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA. Ocala!
All right, 7 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. We have promoted authors probably as long as we've been doing this show. The authors we have promoted have come from all walks of life. We have had those who have had books published by some of the big publishers. We've had authors who have published their own books. The only people we really try to encourage to wait to come on the air are those who have manuscripts and no book, only because I want the listeners to be able to get the book. That's usually the way it works out. And one thing we kind of stumbled upon a few years ago was the Writers and Illustrators of the Future Award, I guess contest is what you say. It's from the folks with L. Ron Hubbard, and for those of you who know L. Ron Hubbard through the writing he's done, what did you call the...
A compilation book.
Oh, no, I know. That's this one. But he was famous for... that movie John Travolta was in.
Yeah. Battlefield Earth.
That one, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Those little ones, the short ones.
Yeah, it's, I can't recall now.
Anyway, and then, of course...
What it's called.
The Dianetics one and all that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so... One thing we've encouraged people to do is to, if you're an author, to enter the contest. Well, not any author. You have to be a science and fantasy, I think, author.
Yes.
But it's awesome because you really have an opportunity to further your dream of being an author. You don't have to pay anything for the contest. You get feedback from the judges that you can use that is positive. In other words, constructive suggestions on what you can do to make your writing better. It's also available for illustrators. And one of these days, we're going to have an illustrator or a writer call us and say, I was listening to you guys on the radio, and I submitted my stuff.
Yes.
And then we'll say to them, well, holy cow, good luck. Good luck, because this is a really great way to launch a writing career. Dustin Steinacker is on the phone. I hope I said his name right. He's going to talk to us about his involvement in this. He is one of the writer winners in the L. Ron Hubbard Writers of the Future Contest, Volume 33. And he's on the phone. Let's say good morning. Good morning. I had kind of a long, awkward intro, though. But Dustin, good morning. How are you?
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Where are you? Where are you calling from?
I live in Orem, Utah, and that's where I'm calling from.
How did you hear about this contest? I don't think I've ever asked anybody this question before. How did you find out about this?
Yeah, and like you were saying just a second ago, even if you're a writer, sometimes it takes that little impetus or that little, just somebody saying something that sparks you into actually going and applying to a contest or submitting your work somewhere. And in my case, it's actually mostly my wife who pulled me into this. I started writing a few years ago, and she let me know about a contest that my college, BYU, was running for short fiction. And I submitted a short story to that and actually won the graduate division of that contest.
Oh, good for you.
And from there, I pretty much followed her coattails. We took a class with Brandon Sanderson, and the Writers of the Future people came in and to promote the contest, and they actually gave us 3 or 4 anthologies apiece, which is no mean feat for a class of 400 students. And from that, I just started entering the contest every quarter, and that's how I got into the Writers of the Future.
So do you think about the future and then write what you imagine? One of the things, I can remember this in social studies class when I was in high school. The teacher said, back in the 20s, everybody who imagined the future where everybody was imagining how cars might be, how houses might be, and nobody imagined somebody like Adolf Hitler. Nobody imagined a dictator coming around the corner and just totally turning everything upside down with politics. When you think of the future, do you have to think of all the things that might make the future what it might be? The technology, the politics, the social trends, and everything?
Yeah, although I think when you're writing, one advantage you have as the writer is that you don't have to come up with all that stuff on a first draft or the first time around. So you might come up with one really compelling idea, and then you can start asking yourself, well, what sort of social structure would support this? What might cause this to come about? And those other things can kind of emerge from that point. So you don't have to have quite as holistic a view as you might down the road right at first. I think about something like The Man in the High Castle by Philip K. Dick. I don't know where he first started with that story, but it's kind of an alternate history where the Allies lost World War II, and it has all these different elements.
I remember. Yes.
Yeah, and it's such a holistic story with so many individual elements and so much political intrigue and kind of interfighting and things like that. But I wouldn't be surprised if he just started with some tiny idea and built that whole thing up from there.
There's right now in the city of Pittsburgh, there are cars driving themselves from the Uber company that are picking up passengers. we spoke to a doctor this morning that had nothing. She didn't call in about that, but I happened to, when I realized she was in Pittsburgh, I said, by the way, have you taken any of the driverless Uber cars? And she said, no, but they look pretty good. They're driving around town. I mean, the future is happening right now. I mean, there's so many things.
Yeah, I think that's a peril of being a sci-fi writer. Is a lot of people think that they're anticipating, 2070 or something, decades down the line, and they might not even know that what they're describing already exists.
Yeah.
When you go to write your stories, do you ever think that you see something that's going on in the world right now, politically or something else, and when you write a story, you try to do a parody of it, but put the science fiction spin on it?
I don't think I'm quite as good at that as some people might be. I think the source of the parody would be too apparent, and it would kind of sound like it was being a little mawkish at that point. I usually start with just one image that really sticks out to me, just some sort of thought-provoking idea or something that has a mystery behind it, and then for me at least, it's kind of untangling the mystery that leads to creating the story. So I'm figuring things out as I go, and hopefully that leads to a reader not knowing what's going to happen when they're going through it for the first time.
In the bio that was sent to me, the short bio about you, it says that in school you were bumped from advanced English to English because you were reading through class.
Yeah.
There's a real irony there, isn't there? I mean, you're reading in English class and they bump you? That's kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, they were right in retrospect because I wasn't really paying attention to the actual curriculum that much, and kind of hiding something behind my trapper keeper that I was actually reading.
Funny stuff. Dustin, can you hang on? We have to take a little break now. I want to continue. I want to find out about the story that won for you and how it has changed your life, if at all. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation with Dustin Steinacker. Dustin, am I saying your last name right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, and we'll be right back. If you are a writer or an illustrator, pay attention. This is a contest that we've promoted for a while now. We actually absolutely believe in it. It's free, and you do get some great feedback. Even if you don't win, you still win because you're going to be a better writer, a better illustrator the next time. And then, and we had one lady, I think she tried 12 times or something?
Yes, long time.
And finally won. All right, we'll take a break and be right back.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hi, this is Becky at Hello Gorgeous Salon. Let's get rid of those sun-damaged ends and faded out color and get into something rich and vibrant. It's time to get that new look started. So call today and set up your appointment at Hello Gorgeous Salon, 351-5358. Hello Gorgeous is a certified Brazilian blowout salon. We can tame those locks, leaving your hair healthy and shiny with a Brazilian smoothing treatment. And whether you're going on a job interview or out on a date, your hands do a lot of talking. Manicures are a must. Hello Gorgeous is a full-service salon, so let us help you make a great first impression. Call us today to set your appointment at Hello Gorgeous. Our number is 352-351-5358. Again, that's 352-351-5358. Hello Gorgeous is conveniently located in the heart of downtown Ocala, right next to the historic Marion Theater. And don't forget, we also do men and children's cuts too.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Looking to put your money to work? Florida Credit Union has a CD special, 25 months for 1.41% APY with a $10,000 minimum. Federally insured by the NCUA, a government agency. These rates effective through September 30th. Subject to change at any time. Visit one of Florida Credit Union's convenient locations today or their website, flcu.org, or call 352-237-8222. Don't miss this 25-month CD special. Again, the APY is 1.41%. Act now.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
All right, 18 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Dustin Steinacker is on the phone in Utah. He's one of the writer winners in the L. Ron Hubbard Writers of the Future Contest, Volume 33. Dustin, what was it like when you found out that you won?
Oh, that was a bit of a surprise. So Galaxy Press, the company that runs Writers of the Future, I think they keep odd hours because I got the call about 9:30 in the evening, and I was just kind of settling in for the night, and she called to let me know that I was a finalist. And then about 3 or 4 weeks later, I got the call that I was actually first place for the quarter.
Oh, that's awesome.
And both of those were were pretty substantial revelations, and I was just sitting in my pajamas kind of taking that in.
That's great. What was the story? Tell us the storyline, I guess.
And you know, it's interesting because, unfortunately, I can't actually discuss the specifics of the story, and there's a reason for that, which is, as the first place finalist for the quarter, my story is going to be up for the grand prize in the spring, which has a $5,000 jackpot associated with it, and so it's being judged anonymously, so basically...
We can't talk about the story, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's awesome. So I'm trying to figure out if you actually went out to the award ceremony or if that's something in your future.
Oh, that's coming up. I was actually the first place finalist, and so they just had their gala for last year to celebrate the release of the anthology. Their volume 32 just came out. Okay. And I think in May or March, I always get those mixed up. I'm going to be going down to California for a week, and they have a workshop with some pretty prominent writers, and their award ceremony at the end of the week where I get to find out who won for the year.
Whenever we speak to writers, one of the things that comes up is time. Like, gosh, I don't have enough time to write. What is your occupation? What do you do for a living?
I actually work for nonprofits and local government. Now, I just actually got my master's in public administration last year. And so basically, I actually just finished up a fellowship with Google Fiber and the United Way of Utah County, creating a digital literacy program for Utah Valley.
That's awesome. So that sounds like that occupies your time. So are you disciplined in any way that you can share with us that enables you to actually work on your writing?
You know what? Discipline's funny, and I think that a a lot of other people actually might be able to benefit from this, because I did for sure. Free time is just kind of like a goldfish, and it can kind of expand or contract to meet how much time you have. I was actually more productive when I was working full-time than I was at the end of the fellowship when I had all day to write, because I was thinking about my time in a different way. I wasn't just able to sleep in and kind of have a slow morning, maybe go to the gym an hour after that or something like that. Like, I had to work writing into the day. So I would write earlier, I would write more, and I really think that just in lunch breaks or on the bus, that 15 minutes and things like that, really being focused on my story and what was coming up and what I wanted to accomplish, I actually got so much more done then. So I'd advise anybody who's considering writing as a hobby or a career to fit that into their lifestyle where they can. There's so much time that we just spend reading the news online, or just kind of sitting or twiddling with our phones. You know, any time spent on Candy Crush might better be spent doing something that you can look at after the fact and have accomplished something.
Yeah, I agree. I think one of the things that we've Robert and I are creative in the music world. We write music and produce music, and a lot of times people ask us if we saw last night's TV show, and I'll say, "Gosh, I don't really watch anything anymore on TV. I don't see how people have the time. I just don't get it. How do you have the time for any of that stuff?" So that's not, you're like in the same category, or not the same category as us, but we got the same time idea, because there's only 24 hours in a day, and we don't really earn any money from the music, very, very little. But still, it's what we do, you know.
I like the fact about the period pieces about your story, because I think that is really fascinating, that science fiction can lend something extra to a period piece, and not just be the same part of the era like other people write about, without that sci-fi twist to it.
Yeah, and you can get into some really novel locales, which is nice, because it's not an actual time period, so you can tweak everything to suit the story more than somebody who's doing kind of an actual historical fiction might be able to do.
For those who want to read your story, I know it's not out there yet, but the book when is the book coming out?
Volume 33 should be coming out next May, if the release of the last volume has anything to do with it. I probably should be a little more prepared with that sort of information, but I would guess May, because I think the last one just came out May 7th or 8th. And it
really becomes a bestseller. At least last year's did, right? I mean, it was on the charts like right away, from what I understood.
Yeah, it's a pretty prominent collection. They've had a lot of pretty big writers go through that contest. I know Pat Rothfuss was a previous winner, and you'll see names. If you go back like a decade, you'll see names that you recognize here and there. It's kind of it's good company to be in.
And also that the contest is still open through the end of September, through September 30th, if people want to be able to submit their works also.
Yeah, it's a quarterly contest, and so it's just broken up by 3-month periods, and so there's a lot of people kind of trying to finish that story by June 31st deadline or something like that, June 30th rather. It's midnight in every quarter, and they have different numbers of entries per quarter, but it's going pretty good pipeline. Pretty much any time you submit, there's a new quarter going on.
Do you know, there's kind of an unspoken rule in our society, and I'm sure it applies to you too, is you can make fun of your own family. You can't make fun of somebody else's family, right? So I can make fun of my dog, for example, but I can't make fun of your dog. So I'm guessing that in this bio where it says you have a goofball dog named Caramel, I'm guessing you must have filled out the paperwork, because I'm guessing somebody else didn't say, I went over to his house, and boy, he's got a goofball dog.
Yeah, I think the bio I wrote might have been a little precious, but he's great. He's
what kind of dog
a little Shih Tzu Maltese blend, and at least that's what the breeder said. And he looks like a mini golden retriever. So I have no idea what they're saying. But yeah, he's just about 1 year and 2 months old, and We don't have any kids, but I guess that everybody's dog is the cutest in the world to them.
If a writer had a tendency to be funny and also wanted to enter the future and fantasy genre, would they ruin the genre by interspersing comedic things, or does that add to it? And what would the advice be, do you think, from the judges if they reviewed something like that? That's kind of hard to say.
I'm actually,
go ahead.
I'm actually a pretty big comedy nerd as well, and actually just kind of started reading. Like I was in 5th grade reading Dave Barry books in school and and things like that. I think comedy is a major asset for a story. I can't imagine a genre or a type of fiction that isn't aided by some good humor, and that doesn't mean jokes, but humor can emerge from situations in the same way that horror can, or romance can, or anything like that. It's definitely part of life, and having those muscles be well exercised is an important part, and I think that's definitely an asset for the contest.
Let me squeeze in a phone call. Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on the air with Dustin Steinacker. Are you there? Well, they disappeared. There's the future for you.
When you write a science fiction, do you tend to keep it on the dark side, or do you kind of lighten it up a little bit, like the Star Wars was kind of lightened up a little bit, whereas Battlefield Earth, the John Travolta one, was on the dark side the whole time?
Yeah. Quick aside, I know people rag on that movie sometimes, but it does have John Travolta shooting cows with a ray gun. Mm-hmm. So that's I'd recommend that people give it a shot for that alone. I think, if I start with a dark premise, in a weird way, I find that as I write the story, it starts to get lighter and lighter. Mm-hmm. And if I start with something that seems like it's more of kind of a swashbuckling sort of adventure story, then I find the dark elements start to come out. And so in an odd way, it's almost like the story exists and you're kind of you're fleshing out something that already exists rather than just creating it from scratch, because those little sparks, you never know where they're going to come from. So I think I tend not to go quite as dark, if only because just my personality would make it seem kind of forced, and I wouldn't want to seem like I was trying to be edgy for its own sake. Oh. But, dark elements come out here and there.
Mm-hmm. The website for the Writers of the Future is simply writersofthefuture.com. Dustin Steinacker, we're looking forward to reading the story. I'm always intrigued when we can't get an answer. Yeah, it's a real good technique for an interviewer. Yeah, let me ask you a question. I'm sorry, I can't answer that one.
That's right. I like that.
Oh man, that's like teasing us. Congratulations on your success, and gosh, we hope you come back and talk to us about future books that you've written about the future. And thank you for coming on there and sharing your story with us.
I'd love to come back. Thank you for having me.
All right, that was fun. We will take a little break. We've got Fun with Joe coming up in just a little bit. This is The Source, WOCA.
Weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Intervals of clouds and sun Friday. There can be a thunderstorm around, the high 88 to 92. Partly cloudy Friday night, low 72 to 76. For Saturday and Sunday, times of clouds and sun with an afternoon and evening thunderstorm popping up each day. The high both days, 88 to 92. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. In just 3 days, Hillary Clinton faces off against Donald Trump in their first one-on-one debate, according to the Trump team.
A big part of his prep, we are told, is watching video of Hillary Clinton at past debates, trying to see what it looks like, what she looks like when she's doing well, and what she looks like when she is not. And as for the rest, Trump admits that he is going to try to just go with the flow.
Fox's Peter Doocy, the Clinton team,
calling Donald Trump a talented performer. That's communications director Dr. Jennifer Palmieri in speaking with our Jennifer Griffin.
Fox's Rich Edson, a computer hacker who helped ISIS by providing names of more than 1,000 government and military workers as potential targets, sentenced to 20 years in prison. And protests over a police shooting death in North Carolina, relatively calm last night, the third night. Demonstrators continue pressing for the release of the video showing the shooting. Fox News, we report, you decide.
If you really want to protect your vehicle's floor, why would you settle for anything less than the most advanced vehicle floor protection available? I'm David McNeil, founder of WeatherTech. The main goal when we design, engineer, and manufacture our floor liners is to protect your vehicle's floor, period. We realize you've made quite an investment in your vehicle, so we do everything possible to help you protect it. We don't cut corners, and we don't compromise on quality, ever. We test our custom-fit WeatherTech floor liners to ensure they hold up against anything and everything that falls on them. Dirt, sand, snow, mud, even food and drinks. And our floor liners are made right here in America, with American raw materials and, of course, American workers. So now that you know how passionate we are about protection, just imagine the detail and energy we put into every aspect of our floor liners. Learn more today about our full line of automotive accessories at WeatherTech.com or call 1-800-CarMats. WeatherTech floor liners, complete protection, completely American-made.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Crowdfunding websites have been extremely popular lately, and so I guess this had to happen eventually. Now there's crowdfunding for your divorce. If you're trying to eat more vegetables, or you want your family to, go all Picasso with the broccoli and cauliflower and create your own vegetable masterpiece. Crossing our arms can help us solve complex problems, and it also makes us feel comforted and stronger.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
This is Kendall Carpenter with Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club. I want to introduce you to the finest equestrian opportunity available. If you love horses and enjoy Central Florida's mild climate and rich rolling landscape, come explore Golden Ocala. Bridle trails weave their way through this stunningly beautiful community of stately homes. Our state-of-the-art equestrian center will meet all of your equestrian needs with style. Visit us at goldenocala.com.
Here are today's headlines from The Source, WOCA. The Ocala Police Department has released a video that shows a gunfight in July that happened at a home on Southwest 4th Street, south of State Road 40 in Ocala. Video shows the moment when two men pulled guns on each other and opened fire in the Ocala neighborhood. One of the men used an AR-15. Video also shows a man with a smaller gun shooting first. The other man fired back with the long gun even after it appeared he had been shot. The man is then seen running toward the home with blood seeping through his shirt. The entire incident was caught on video from a home surveillance system. Ocala detectives believe a feud between the two men led to the gunfight, but according to Marion County records, the two men involved were booked into jail this past week. Jeremy Willis and Jeffrey Aaron are charged with attempted murder. A third man, Mark Williams, was also arrested and accused of violating probation. Witnesses told reporters they heard the gunshots when some of the bullets shattered windows. Aaron posted bond and was released from jail on Wednesday. Willis is still being held on bond. A full detailed report is expected to be released by Ocala Police. Family members of some of the Pulse attack victims and survivors are channeling their grief into legislative action against firearms. They're fighting for gun law reform. They specifically talk about the AR-15 rifle, a semi-automatic rifle based off a military weapon. While the AR-15 has been a primary weapon in many recent mass shootings, it was not used in the Pulse attack. That weapon was the Sig Sauer MCX, a semi-automatic weapon that can have assault-style variants. For the first time, wildlife officials have found Burmese pythons breeding in the Florida Keys. Bad news for disappearing Key Largo wood rats, cotton mice, and other small mammals consumed by the voracious snake. Yesterday, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission reported that 3 hatchlings were found over 3 weeks in August in North Key Largo. They are the first hatchlings documented in the area, suggesting the exotic snakes invading marshes on the mainland have now staked out new territory where the last known population of docile wood rats built their intricate nests in woody hammocks. The snakes have been blamed for driving down the population of raccoons, rabbits, and other small mammals in Everglades National Park. Last year, a study concluded they had taken over as a top predator in the region. Work crews in Tallahassee have started a 2-year repair and makeover of the Capitol complex, but the new look is already getting bad reviews. The state will be spending $75 million on a makeover of the Florida Capitol. That's almost twice what it cost to build in the first place. The state agriculture commissioner, Adam Putnam, does not like the new design. He said the concepts managed to diminish an already unattractive Capitol design. Putnam says the project is so expensive and the work so important that he doesn't want there to be a headlong rush into things. In fact, Putnam says the new look is so bad he wants to see all the other designs that were rejected. Those designs will be presented to the state cabinet next month. And construction is coming along at Universal's Volcano Bay. The volcano will be the centerpiece of the future water park. The metal infrastructure can also be seen from Interstate 4 near the new Sapphire Falls Resort. Volcano Bay will have 18 attractions with Polynesian influences. The volcano itself, Krakatau, will feature 3 different body slides and surprise doors that drop out underneath riders. There is also a high-speed race featuring 4 slides and an as-yet unknown attraction. In addition, the volcano will feature waterfalls in the daytime and illuminate with blazing lava at night, according to Universal. The park is expected to open next year, though an official date has not been announced. And those are the headlines from The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Intervals of clouds and